My mom called me after that episode aired, and she said, "Anson, I think you've become a really good actor."
You know what's funny?
I was like, "Well, you must have you thought I was shit before this, right?"
Well, Tom and I were talking, and you're obviously theatrically trained, and you did all that stuff. But you're sort of. He asked me when he was on set. Was it kind of like you guys were boys, but he's not playing this character, so was it weird? I go. With me, when guest stars come on, I'm always like, I'm sure they're going to be nervous. They might not know what they're doing. It's coming into a new environment, and we already know what we're doing. And I said, with Anson, it was the opposite. He came in, and from take one, I was like, he knows what he's doing. I don't have to even think about that. Because a lot of times you're thinking about other people.
That's funny because Anson told me he felt the opposite. He was like, what is this? What's Michael doing?
Yeah, Lex Rosenbaum.
I got to help this kid.
And you know what's funny, and nobody knows this? Guess who was up for Lex Luthor for Smallville? Anson.
Really?
How close were you to getting it, Anson?
Pretty close.
He turned it down once he realized he really had to shave his head.
No, how close? Like, I know Zach Levi was up for it, but he says he bombed the test. You tested for it, right?
Yeah.
And what happened? Tell me. People want to know.
What are you trying to get him to say?
He's trying to hide something. I could say I know him.
Michael, don't you remember this, man?
No.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, this is going to be good.
You remember back when you got the role, when you got the role, you were telling me, and you said, "Hey, so I'm doing this Superman thing. I'm playing Lex Luthor." We were on the phone or something. I said, "Oh my God, they offered that to me." And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I remember now.
And immediately I went, "Oh my God, I am so it just came out." I wasn't thinking. I was like, "This is the stupidest, most insensitive thing I have ever said."
I don't think it's
okay, man. It's okay. And then who was it that we did Poolhall Junkies with?
Yeah, Phil Glasser.
Phil. It was Phil. So Phil calls me up out of the blue when I'm shooting Crossroads. And he's like, "What are you doing these days?" "I'm doing this movie with Britney Spears." And he goes, "Oh yeah, they offered that to me." And I immediately knew that you'd put him up to that.
Nice.
And then I called you immediately after that, and I was like, "You son of a gun." That was good. That was really, really good.
What's funny is I always tell the story, but I was like, I was so scared because I had that audition. I told the story many times. I'm not going to tell it. But when I finally came back in, I had the best audition of my life, and I told them, and they wanted me to test and all that. I go, "No, rewind the tape," and they ended up giving me the role. It was a crazy thing to do. I don't recommend it, but I was like, I didn't know that they had made an offer. Like, no, I knew now. I just didn't remember the story, but I remember now you telling me that. But why didn't you take it? Let me ask you that.
I honestly can't recall. I remember that my representatives really didn't want me to shave my head, but that kind of didn't bother me. I honestly cannot remember why it didn't go that way. But by the way, we can look. The reason we can look back and laugh on this now is because it's gone both ways. You've gotten roles that I coveted, and that's how it happens. Like invariably, my one of my best friends from graduate school.
You talking about sorority girls?
Sorority boys. Yeah, you were supposed to get that. Hey, I'm glad you didn't get that. I love that movie.